In forex, a lot of currency pairs move in strong correlation, and knowing those relationships gives you a huge advantage. In today's video, we will be focusing on one such correlation. I will show you the secret to trading JPY pairs using JPYX correlation, along with how I used it to catch almost 1:7 risk-reward sell this week on USDJPY. I will show you my full top-down analysis, along with entry zones, confirmations, and timeframes I used for this trade. And once you understand that, everything starts making sense. Let me explain. Before we get into the trade, you need to understand why JPYX is so important. JPYX is basically the index that measures overall Japanese yen strength. And here's the key. JPYX almost always moves opposite to USDJPY. Once you track JPYX, you start seeing the moves before they happen on all JPY pairs. Watch this. JPYX taps a supply zone on the left, and the moment it starts selling, look at the right. USDJPY started spiking and gave a huge move. This isn't coincidence. This is JPY flow. And once you understand this, you stop guessing and start predicting JPY pairs with precision. Let us now go to the charts and open JPYX chart. Before we trade any JPY pair, we need to know the direction of JPYX first. Type JPYX in TradingView and you will see JPY Currency Index. Open that chart and add it to your watch list for future reference. I will always start my analysis from the weekly time frame. On the weekly chart, we can see that in July 2024, we had this huge expansion move towards the upside. That is a lot of bullish strength. And that move left some demand zones and fair value gaps behind. So we can expect that the market will come back to test those zones sooner or later. And this was the demand zone that it left where the move was initiated from, which makes this zone very important. And I noticed that we were already testing that demand zone on that day. This got me very interested, as I was expecting JPYX to bounce from this demand zone. Now let us look at USDJPY chart around this time. And we see similar thing here, but in opposite direction. Like I said, they both are inversely correlated. When JPYX had that huge bullish expansion, at the same time we saw USDJPY making a huge bearish move. And I noticed that at the same time USDJPY was testing this huge supply zone, which means if JPYX catches a bounce here, USDJPY should respond with a clean sell from this supply zone. This was my idea based on big picture. Now let us go to lower time frames and look for confirmations. And as you can see on this 4-hour chart, it tested this weekly demand zone that we marked and gave us a huge expansion to the upside. If we go down to 1-hour chart, we can see that it gave a nice liquidity sweep on 1-hour chart. And then this huge bullish expansion move was able to give us a change of character on the hourly chart. And this change of character indicates that we are ready to start a bullish rally after holding this demand zone. Let us go back to 4-hour chart to mark demand zones. I always mark my demand and supply zones on 4-hour charts. And this is the demand zone left by that bullish expansion. Now the expectations are that we will come to collect orders from this demand zone and continue going higher. And that is exactly what happened. Market came back to this demand zone and gave us a liquidity sweep. Then we had a huge bullish expansion move, and that was able to give us a change of character after holding that demand. That tells me that our demand has held and we are ready to go to the upside. This particular move happened on December 1st, which was on Monday. And this move left behind a huge imbalance in this particular demand zone. This demand zone was already mitigated, and now this is the only demand zone that is left to be mitigated before we move higher. So now I was expecting the market to come back to this demand zone and hold. And from here, I thought we can get a nice bullish expansion to the upside. Remember the date. All this happened on Monday, December 1st. And we are expecting JPYX to go bullish after holding the demand zone. And if JPYX goes bullish, that means there is a high probability that most JPY pairs will go bearish. And hence I decided to take a look at USDJPY to trade, and this is what I saw. Let us start with the weekly time frame over here as well. And just notice how things will totally be inverse of what happened on JPYX. As we saw earlier, this was the huge bearish move to the downside from where the move initiated. And that bearish expansion move left this supply zone on the weekly chart. After a while, market came back to collect the orders from this supply zone, mitigated it, and continued to the downside. So now this supply zone has been mitigated. Let us cross this zone and move on to the next zone. Now this was the next supply zone that was left behind. As we can see, currently USDJPY is testing this supply zone as we speak. And from here we are expecting this supply zone to mitigate and give us an expansion move to the downside. Now let us go to lower time frames for confirmations and entry. I generally use 4-hour time frames to mark supply zones, and I even take entries on 4-hour zones if the risk-to-reward ratios are good. But if that's not the case, I will go down to 1-hour zones for precise entries. 1-hour zones will give me better risk-to-reward. In this particular trade as well, I used 1-hour zone for my entries. I personally do not go under 1-hour time frame, as we get a lot of fake outs. I like to keep trading simple and stress-free. Now, as you can see on the 4-hour chart, we came to this supply zone and started seeing bearish expansion after testing the supply zone. Let us go to 1-hour chart now to find where exactly we shifted from. As we can see here on the hourly chart, this was the last bullish break of structure, and it was unable to close above, so it ended up being a liquidity sweep. After that, we started selling, and that was able to create a bearish change of character. And since then, we have been selling and selling. Market has shifted, and it has been only giving lower lows and lower highs after that. Now let us go to 4-hour chart to find an unmitigated supply zone where we can enter. If you remember from our JPYX analysis, the demand zone was formed on December 1st. And this is where we were on USDJPY chart around that time. Let us start to analyze from the top now. After the change of character, this was the first supply zone that the market left. And as we can see, market came back to mitigate the supply zone and continued to the downside. So, this supply zone has been mitigated, and we will cross it out and move on to the next one. After another selling move, market gave us this bearish break of structure. And this was the unmitigated supply zone that the market left behind after the bearish expansion. Once again, market came back to this supply zone, mitigated it, and continued its bearish expansion. So this supply zone has also been mitigated, so we will cross it out. This huge bearish expansion gave us another break of structure. Now pay attention to the date. This break of structure happened on December 1st. And if you remember, JPYX gave us a bullish change of character on December 1st as well. Do you see the alignment now? After this break of structure, market has left some supply zones. If we see, the market has left 1, 2, and 3 supply zones. Now our job is to find the one that has not been mitigated and take a sell entry from there. As always, let us start from the top. This is the first supply zone that the market has left. And as you can see, this supply zone was mitigated before going down. Let us cross this zone and move on to the next one. This is the second zone that market left for us. And as you can see, this was also mitigated before the huge sell move came. So we will cross this out and move on to the next one. This is the third and final supply zone that the market left for us. And as you can see, on Monday, December 1st, we were here, and at that time this supply zone was not mitigated yet. So we will mark this as an unmitigated supply zone, and now my plan is to enter sells from this supply zone based on what we saw on the JPYX chart. This confluence is what makes this sell setup a high probability trade. From all these supply zones, this is the only supply zone that has not been mitigated. And we expect the market to come back to this supply zone to give us the entry and continue its bearish expansion. And this will be our target level now. If we directly enter using 4-hour zone, then our risk to reward would not be very ideal, as you can see over here. And that is why, like I told you earlier, I decided to go down to 1-hour chart for a more precise entry. On 1-hour chart, we can further refine this supply zone like this, as this was where the huge bearish expansion started from. Let me mark this as a 1-hour zone. And this is exactly where I decided to enter this sell trade from. I gave my stop loss a little bit of room to play with and placed it slightly above the zone. And this is our target level. And just like that, this refined entry delivered me a solid 1:6.7 risk to reward ratio. Let me show you both charts side by side so you can see how beautifully they correlated. As you can see on the left side, this is when the market came back to the demand zone on JPYX. It was on December 2nd. And now if you look at the USDJPY chart on the right side, we can see that around the same time, market came back to test this supply zone and gave us that sell entry. After that, JPYX gave us a nice bullish move after holding that demand zone. And inversely, USDJPY was able to respect the supply zone and give a clean bearish move. The big lesson is this: always track JPYX before trading any JPY pair. Watch this video next, where I show you simple and powerful way to use daily levels to catch multiple winning trades every single week. I'll see you there.